Hey everybody, how's it going? I'm going to do a journey into the California fires and we're going to take a look at it on the energy side of things. So I'm just going to project my consciousness into that space. What do you think it's going to look like on the energy side of things? So I'm going to do what I can to heal wounds and explore why this event is so essential for our collective growth and development. And we're just going to see what comes. And I want to thank you for being a part of this experience with me. Everything that I'm doing here is a movement of love and support. So you can get a lot of political viewpoints. And here I'm going to share a spiritual viewpoint because our world isn't just a physical material plane. It's layered and layered and layered with many different dimensional realities. And we are digesting so much information all the time that we don't consciously see all the details of the picture. Not even I'm going to be able to see all the details of the picture, but I'm going to be able to see something new on this that could be valuable and meaningful, because there are a lot of people that have no home right now, and I can't fathom being in their shoes. I feel really sad about that, and I think there's an opportunity here to correct some things in communities where fires can happen and avoid this totally horrible event from getting out of control like this ever again. You know what I mean? This should never have gotten out of control like this. So I'm very sorry for those people who lost their home. I mean, there's regular people. These aren't just Hollywood celebrities that could take the hit. I still feel bad for them too, because nobody wants to lose their home. So that's what I see it as. Okay. I'm just getting in the zone here. I'm just going to close my eyes. So when I get in the zone, I'm just basically relaxing my human self. And then I'm putting the intention out there. How can I be of service here? What messages of value can I share on these fires here in California? Well, for one, my experiences, I feel very far away, kept at a distance. So naturally, I'm wondering, well, why can't I just get in the thick of things? Maybe the energy is like this because anyone who wants to get into the thick of this, well, you're just going to be set on fire. So you have to keep back. So the energy is keep back. Could be other reasons. I don't know. So I'm going to leave this denser part of myself behind. This me is going to keep back. And then another me is going to go in the center of all of this, okay? My guides asked me, what is it that I think I'm going to find in the center of all of this? I guess a frequency that would represent death. Like the death of a home, death of a financial well-being. Like an energy of death, I would say. Death of different kinds. And maybe there's something disturbing beneath the surface. Was this a natural event? Was this an unnatural event? I mean, there are conspiracies out there that this is done on purpose. Maybe it was, maybe it wasn't. It's the earth that's calling me. So this part of me that's a lighter version of myself, I'm just part of the earth, and I'm more at the surface than beneath the surface. There's a lot of screaming going on here. Is it the planet that's screaming, or Is there other kinds of screaming that the planet was hearing? This is a very sore spot. A sore spot that got inflamed. Sometimes when the body, maybe it endures a sore spot for long enough, it becomes something worse in order to get your attention, you know what I mean? Like maybe you had this sore spot and now it's become arthritis, you know? Now it's become cancer. How are you supposed to consciously know that there was something trying to get your attention until it got out of hand, out of control? So there's a sore spot here that's gotten out of control. And if we look at the body of the planet is wanting to direct our attention here. So it's engulfed in flames. It's become like next level. It's a wound. It's not because the fire wounded the earth. There's something already wounded and festering there that needed to get our attention, okay? All right, this should be, believe it or not, this is what the energy says, okay? It says this needs to be made into holy ground, a sacred space, a pure space, a space of pure love, a sacred space. I already get the impression that some people will get me, but then there'll be people that will just laugh and say that's just stupid. I don't know why sacred spaces aren't valued and adored by humanity. A sacred space is a space where you can go and be with your soul or the spirit of others. A spiritual energy here. A sacred space here. Wouldn't that be neat on some level? If you lost your home and let's say this space was outlined and turned into a sanctuary. Is there something we can do to help our fellow man? Is there something we can do to care about each other's well-being? Imagine you lost your home and somehow the United States worked together to make it better for you. Somehow. That would be pretty special. I'm not the type of person who knows how the structures and the systems and how it can all work, but I like thinking like that, you know? Maybe someone on the planet thinking like that is kind of a warm note, you know, to the symphony of life. We all have to work hard to make that happen, to take care of the well-being of another who lost everything. So I'm choosing to see this space becomes a sacred space. That means sacred in thought and emotion. Even a beautiful space of learning could be here. Like different practices, learning. And a university of sorts. I don't know what... This is showing me something. It shows me many gardens, many fountains. It shows me buildings of thought, intelligence, people from all over the world coming here to learn. And it could be philosophy, it could be astronomy, it could be physics, it could be how to be a great farmer, it could be yoga, it could be mathematics, reading, writing, it could be anything. It's a huge space for education. Learning languages, learning cultures, everything welcomed. It's actually an epicenter. I start to see it grow and grow and grow into an extraordinary epicenter. Literally, there's some really cool, like, it's like you go into a garden that's in this cool dome. And I see these incredible domes with like landscapes inside that are like, here's a desert biome and here's a jungle biome. And there's learning about biomes, learning about animals, learning about all kinds of things. And it literally is designed to welcome people of all different interests to come here and to study and to learn and to take back what you learned to make the planet a more extraordinary place. Like, why aren't we seeding the planet with our knowledge? That just feels good to me. There's like auto body shops and how to be an artistic painter, like on cars. Like there's everything here. Like you can find anything here. It's really neat. So me choosing to step into the center of this, something was festering here and now it got next level. Now it's getting our attention. We're burning this all away. Imagine you once lived here and it was turned into this extraordinary place, a sanctuary place for people all over the world to learn and grow. On some level, if I lost everything and knew it was turned into something that beautiful, I'd be proud to know that I once lived right there. It would be honoring, respectful. So I've already said that I'm talking to the planet right now. So I'm talking to the planet consciousness about, wow, I love this idea and thank you for showing me all these neat avenues. It's just like, it makes me feel so excited inside to see this as a possibility, you know? It's great. All right, so now that I have placed an overlay of this possibility, this could potentially happen. There's many train tracks, many possible destinies here. This is one. This is one of them, okay? Now I'm like layering this space with really good energy because it needs to soak up really good energy, okay? Let's say you literally burned in a fire and now you're soaking up family and love and compassion and flowers, and it's probably still isn't enough, but you know what? You're loved. And so this space, it's like you're loved. The possibilities, this is really good energy. So overlaying is kind of like aloe vera for a burn. And it's starting to release something really putrid out, and it's kind of like, let's just go there with it. It represents a butthole, okay? And it opens up and all these insects come screaming out of it. And it just gets wider and wider, this like horribly gross butthole, okay? Is literally what it is. And all this filthy, nasty energy is just like squishing out of it, screaming insects and everything. It's like a gateway to hell. Were you expecting a gateway to hell? Maybe in that area there could be a gateway to hell. Okay. No wonder it needs to be turned into a sanctuary. Isn't that the opposing energy? Gateway to hell, sanctuary energy, holy space, you know? Now it's balancing itself out. It's mending and healing what was into something new, something holy, right? I got to go down in this. I got to take a deep dive down into this. Yeah. All right, let's go there. It's like, it's a tunnel. There's all this screaming stuff screaming out. Man, it's a long ways down. And it's full of light too. It surprises me, but it's like gateway to hell stuff. It's like firelight. Huh. There's some serious issues down here. I don't know how to translate it. Like there's lava down here. I don't know if this is like a physical, real world thing or just part of the hell space concept. My guys asked me what the energy is like here, and I say I can't really say right now. I just know it's glowing like lava everywhere. I don't even see wisps of flames. It's just like I'm in a lava space, and I'm stopped. So I need to be quiet so I can acclimate to this. It's a confused mind. What is going? What is coming here? What is in and out here? What is inhale, exhale here? It's basically I'm in a space, the consciousness is a confused mind and it doesn't know what its purpose is now. It doesn't represent evil. It just represents confused. It doesn't know how to mold and shape itself. I'm just going to be part of this lava, this glow for a minute. Okay, part of the message here is, it's pretty loud. It basically says, wake up. And what it means by wake up, wake up! If I'm really to get into this here, okay. If you see something that's wrong, if you know that it's wrong, stop it. Stop ignoring it. Stop just letting this stuff happen. Say no to people on the street who are doing something they shouldn't be doing. Help them to see the right way. It's more than that. It's like at every level of society. Choose to be a good person. Feel the goodness of being good. And then if you see someone that isn't aligning with that, they're in pain inside. You can guide them back to being a good person. Whatever that means to you is just being kind. Not destroying things or destroying people's lives or messing people up in their minds and their emotions. Messing people up is a bad thing to do. It's a hollow, selfish thing to do. When I become part of the lava, it's basically all this muted, like, nope, didn't see anything here. I did. It's like you saw it, but you did nothing. Your soul knows you saw it and you did nothing. The whole universe knows you saw it and you did nothing. The whole universe knows what cookie jars you've got your hands in. The whole universe knows. So it's like, you know, it's like if the tree falls in the forest and no one saw it, then did it really fall? Yeah, it did. And you were probably the one that witnessed it and pretend you didn't see it. And it was more than just a tree falling. Okay, it was seriously disturbing stuff. And you participated in it, or you just turned a blind eye, or you just pretended like you didn't know anything about it. So you got to grow some thing of strength of heart and strength of voice and strength of moral compass, strength of conscience, and speak out about it. Do better than this. Don't give up, please. Don't give up. Maybe you could say, yeah, I have seen things, and I was given opportunity to say, man, if I saw that again, what would I do? Would I say something? Would I not say something? It's like, okay, please, if something like this happens again, you must say something. So this is like a cesspool of energy where it's like the turn the blind eye and let things get out of hand. And I don't know to what degree we're talking about this is wrong. This is wrong. Okay? This is wrong. Stop acting so hollow. Stop acting so hollow. So when I'm part of the lava, I mean, I'm just one person here. All I can do is navigate this and tell you what I see, and it'll mean something to you, it'll mean nothing to you, and all I can do is just be myself, and this is what myself feels like doing. So, but I feel moved by this inside, and to be honest, I just want people to be honest. And I just want to fix it. I just want to move forward. I don't care about, I want to fix things. I want to move forward. I want to see us grow. I want to see us thrive. I want to see us, let's fix it today and make sure this never happens again in all of human history. That's the kind of level energy that this represents. Is this, I should never step into this and ever see this ever in human history. Like, we should eradicate this to the level it doesn't actually exist and nobody even remembers this ever happening in human history. Disturbing stuff like that. Let's start being good now. Let's start being good now. Okay, so took a little while to get there. Let's just start being good now. Right? Let's just start doing that now. Let's just move forward. Let's just start being good people now and move forward. All right, so I tell this consciousness that start being good now. And I feel like this consciousness is just nauseous. Start being good now. This is like underground. So what is underground? We consider hell as an underground space. I mean, hell energetically is like a dimensional space. It's like what manifests hell. There's different versions of it, okay? But you can create it for yourself because of guilt and shame. And, when you die and you cross over and you get to witness every decision you made and how it affected domino effect of people, and you get to sit with that, and you can create hell for yourself because you can't even digest the fact that your soul is capable of doing those messed up things. So yeah, you're not human when you die, you're a soul when you die. So you judge yourself, okay? You judge yourself. Better just start doing that now. And this space represents, I'm confused and I'm vomiting because there's something of this goodness and I'm self-assessing and it makes me want to puke because it has something to be ashamed of. So you ever come across someone who's doing no good and they refuse, say that they always do the right thing? I don't know what you're talking about. And now they have to face the fact that they were doing no good and the whole world knows about it. Can you imagine the nausea? Like, I can imagine, like, maybe if I got found out and I was doing some of these things, I feel like I would want to puke, right? This is what this energy is like. I feel like I want to puke because you're talking about doing good things and being a good person. Let's move forward. And now it's self-realization. That's the energy that's here. That I'm running into a butthole. I'm going down into the depths of this. This is hidden underground secret stuff down here. And it needs to develop a conscience. And when it develops a conscience, it's like, oh, wow, what have I been doing with my time? Puke. That's the soul coming back to you when you become so hollow that you can do so many cruel things and feel nothing about it. When you feel like vomiting, finally, that is when your soul is coming back to you. That's when you know you're becoming part of your light again. And there's compassion for all souls, and all souls deserve to be loved no matter what. Yeah, this conversation, I know how hard it is to play roles and be the one that's the abused, to see the filthy things that happen to good people and to children, and it's terrible. And we play these roles, and why do we do it? And even the abuser in the spirit realm, yes, the abuser in the spirit realm is an incomprehensible hell. And the hardest thing is for the abused to give a hug to their abuser. But it does heal those souls and helps them return to God if you have the courage. But it will even be hard for that soul to hug the other soul. I've seen it many times. It's one way to heal trauma if you've been abused, is to try to hug in your imagination your abuser. It's about the cruelest thing to ask an abused person to do, is to hug their abuser, but it does actually reconcile a soul-to-soul relationship. And you're doing it with the support of all the angels, archangels, God, and you're helping that soul go back to heaven as well as your own soul, because you got to heal the trauma. So we all play these roles. It's like not fair, but we choose our lives. We choose them. I don't want to live in a world where we have to have abusers and abused. I don't want to live in that world, and I don't want to have this conversation, and I don't want to know about the courage it takes to have to do that. But that's what I see in the energy world, you know? I see how powerful it is. I'm just going to hug then this confused mind, because that must be why I'm having this conversation. But I don't know the cruelty that was done here. All I know is I'm supposed to tell it to develop conscience and bring your soul back into yourself and puke all you need to puke. You're becoming your light again. And for that, you should be proud. No matter what anybody else says or thinks about you for the rest of your life, you have your soul back, and that's important. More important than continuing this path. It's pretty disgusting because when I hug this spirit, I get pulled inside of the spirit into a dimension, and it's really, really, really million things wrong here. This cannot get off scot-free, so to speak. So there's a lot of things. Maybe this needed to get burned to ground to hide some things that are going on here. Maybe it was in the best interest to burn this area to the ground to hide some things going on here. I just said that twice. So, because when I go on the energy side of things and I go through this confused soul, I'm taken to this space. It's kind of like a, I don't know, a camp. There's like a big housing structure and beds on either side. This makes me sick. It's like even the one that didn't do this, like I feel like puking. So there's a human side of things, and there's a soul side of things, and the humans have to hold other humans accountable. In the spirit realm, it's a different language of communication. This is wrong. No wonder this needs to be turned into a sanctuary space. And anybody laughing like, this was sanctuary space. It's like very, very small-minded. It's just really overwhelming to be present here. It makes me very sad. I don't get to know everything, so I can make assumptions on what this represents, but it doesn't tell me what it represents. It just shows me what it looks like, and it just goes like on my heart. And when my emotions get really loud, it's very hard for me to translate energy information because all I can hear is myself. So I have to become completely neutral to what I see in order to get more information, okay? So I have to feel to have the conversation, then I have to stop feeling to gain new information, and then have the conversation by opening up my senses to this, okay? So it's like back and forth, okay? So let me just not care about what I'm witnessing and how it makes me feel. I just have to neutralize it. All right, let's be real here. This is about the well-being of children, and that could be taken in different ways. This could be taken in many different ways. From the most horrific ideas you can come up with to maybe more milder ideas. I just see how are children being guided is really the biggest question. How are children being guided? And child trafficking, how are children being guided? How are children being guided perhaps into the Hollywood industry? How are they being guided? Mentally, emotionally, physically? Like, how are children being guided educationally, just day-to-day life in schools? How are children being guided? Perhaps there's a sex industry and they're being exposed to it, or their parents are drug abusers. I don't know. How are children being guided? This is the ugly side of how are children being guided. It's the very, very ugliest side of it on many different levels. And we're starting to understand that this place going up in flames, it's like it attracted it. This is attracted an event. Whether this was on purpose or it was not on purpose, it was a total accident. It was just a freak nature incident. And this place went up in flames. It was a festering wound, and we're starting to go deeper and deeper into the root of that wound, and it attracted an event. It makes my heart sink into my stomach, and my stomach digests my heart. No wonder it needs to be an educational space, education for good, not education for evil, and encouraging human beings to become hollow and soulless. It's like, what does Hollywood represent? Is it a place to empower humanity or to imprison humanity? And what levels of humanity? Like adults, teenagers, children, like in the industry, not in the industry, other secret stuff going on here. Okay, what else can I do? Because What else can I do to come full circle on this message, to heal what I can heal, to empower something good here, to get us thinking about becoming good people? What can I do to come full circle on this message? I take all the children from these beds, I pick them up just like maybe Santa's sack full of toys, and I'm just like hoisting all these kids in my arms, like I'm carrying this giant sack, but it's all kids. It's like another, like I've got all these kids, and I'm crying, and I'm running out of here with them, and I'm like hoisting them over to a bunch of loving people. There's a lot of loving people in this world. There's a lot of good people in this world. There's more good people than we know. And that needs to be said out loud. We need to remember there's a lot of good people. And there's like a huge band of good people. And I'm like giving a lot of children to these very good people. It's what I'm shown in this picture. And these are kids that need their hearts mended, and they need to see what love looks like and what kindness looks like, what family looks like, what goodness looks like. I also see crumbling, the loss of homes. I see that here. Because when this place is emptied out, it just collapses. But I'm in a space where everything is just like collapsed. It's like structures and structures and structures. So what are her houses? I don't know if you guys can hear that in the background, but there's a little crying baby back there. Yeah, not funny, but yeah. It's just weird timing, I guess. But that's the next thing, is that I see structures of homes. Structures and structures of homes, structures. Okay, so the word structures collapsing, structures collapsing, more and more structures collapsing, more and more structures collapsing. So there's metaphors, there's parallels, like things happen. Like there's representations, like the collapsing of homes is like the collapsing of a structure of sorts. What structure are we talking about? A political structure, perhaps, a structure of child trafficking, a structure of, some versions of structures are collapsing more than just the houses that represent the collapsing of structures here. And so I'm choosing to, as I see all this collapse, I'm choosing to see that this is washed away now, like the water is coming in and the water is washing things away. What's interesting is there's a lack of water, and water in the energy world represents emotion. And so there is a lack of emotion that we have access to take away the fire. So in a weird way, like what does that mean? If we were to think about it in some poetic way, like there's a lack of water, the emotion required to put out the fire, and what brought the fire to begin with? Hollow people. Doing hollow things without good conscience, and the will to actually say, what am I doing, and cry into the palms of their hands, and then stop the behavior and step back into good conscience. So there's some kind of weird poetic metaphors about it, which still makes me sad, because if there's a fire, people need access to the water in order to put it out. It's not good enough, to be honest. Everything happens for all the right reasons. It's the hardest thing for anyone to say, is what is the right reason about this happening? Because good things happen from bad things. So I'm choosing to see the water is here, and the water is nourishing and neutralizing all of this, so we can start fresh with something beautiful and new that is really healthy and good. It's the beginning of something good. So that's what I have. Okay, everybody, thank you for watching. Thank you for your time. Feel free to share your thoughts in the comments. If there's a current event you'd like me to take a look at, what is that event? Why do you want me to look at it? You might be my next video, so feel free to share. And if I can help you in a personal session, you can book a session at my website at abbeynormalswisdomquest.com. I'm also on Patreon. Patreon.com/AbbeyNormalsWisdomQuest. Have a great day, everybody.